Have you ever thought, man, could I actually launch a huge AI company all by myself? Without writing a single line of code, without raising a ton of money? It sounds kind of impossible, right? Well, according to entrepreneur Dan Martell, there's a clear 7-step framework to do exactly that. So let's break it down. I mean, this is the big question, isn't it? For the longest time, building a tech company meant you needed deep pockets and a whole team of engineers. But here's the thing. That's just not true anymore. The tools and the strategies that are available right now have completely changed the game. It's opened the door for literally anyone to build something incredible. And look, this framework comes from someone who has actually been there and done that. Dan Martell isn't just making this stuff up. This is his personal playbook. It's been refined over years and years of building and investing in successful software companies. And the best part? He's laying it all out for us. So what is this zero-code AI promise all about? Well, it's this idea that for the very first time, your success isn't limited by how well you can code. These powerful, super accessible AI tools have just demolished the barrier to entry. We are truly in a brand new era for founders. Now this right here is the core philosophy of this entire process. For decades, the hardest part was actually building the thing. But now, technology is kind of the easy part. The real challenge and the number one reason businesses fail is that they build something nobody actually wants. So this framework, it's designed to solve that problem first. So where do we begin? Not with a cool idea for an AI app. Nope, not with a solution that's desperately looking for a problem. We start with the most fundamental thing in any business, a real, nagging, painful problem. The first question you have to ask yourself is this. Are you selling a vitamin or are you selling a painkiller? Think about it. A vitamin is nice to have, sure, but it's not essential. A painkiller, on the other hand, solves an urgent, throbbing problem. Great businesses are built on painkillers. They're solutions people will gladly pay for because the pain of ignoring the problem is just too high. And that pain? It almost always falls into one of these 4 categories. If your idea can clearly help a customer make more money, save them precious time, cut their costs, or give them a higher status, you are on the right track. Your solution has to deliver on at least one of these promises. Okay, so finding that pain isn't magic. It's a process. First, start by making a list of all the frustrations in a field you already know well. Then, and this is so important, get on the phone. Talk to at least 10 people in that niche and see if they confirm that the pain is real. And finally, make sure you're planting your flag in a market that's growing, not shrinking. All right, so you've found a validated pain point. The temptation now is to just dive in and start building the software, right? Wrong. The next phase is all about proving that people will actually pay for a solution before you invest a single minute into creating the product. Now, I know this sounds totally counterintuitive, but it is genius. Offer to solve the customer's problem yourself as a manual, done-for-you service. This does a few amazing things. It forces you to learn the exact workflow you need to build, it gets you talking to real customers, and, best of all, it gives you the cash flow to finance the product build later on. You literally get paid to do your market research. The process here is actually pretty straightforward. First, you draft a simple 1-page document that just outlines the offer. Next, you build a clickable prototype. It's just a visual mock-up that looks and feels like a real app, but it doesn't actually have to work. Then, armed with that offer and that prototype, your one and only goal is to get your first paying customer. This might be the most important rule of them all. Positive feedback is nice, it feels good, but honestly, it's worthless. The only feedback that truly matters, the only real validation that you have a business, is when someone gives you their hard-earned money. Cash is the ultimate signal that you're onto something real. And if you think pre-selling a product that doesn't even exist yet is strange, think again. In a city like Dubai, a whopping 70% of all real estate is sold off-plan. It's sold based on models and prototypes, long before a single brick is even laid. So this isn't some weird trick. It's a standard, proven business model. So you've got paying customers, you've got a validated idea. Now, and only now, is it time to build. But the key here is to resist that urge to build everything you've ever dreamed of. We are laser focused on the minimum viable product. Let's be really clear about what an MVP is. It is not a buggy, half-finished version of your grand vision. It is a sharp, focused, simple tool that does one thing perfectly. It solves that core pain for those early customers who already paid you. That's it. Nothing more. I mean, think about it. Every giant starts small. Facebook wasn't a global social network. It was just a tool for college kids to see who was in their classes.
Amazon didn't sell everything under the sun, it sold only books. They absolutely nailed one core problem before they even thought about expanding. Your goal is to do the exact same thing.
And here's where the magic of 2024 comes in. You don't need that team of engineers anymore. You can literally describe your idea in plain English to an AI, get back the exact prompts and tools suggestions you need, and then paste those into another tool that just builds the app for you. It's an absolutely incredible leap forward.
Okay, you have a product, you have paying customers, you are officially in business. But this is just the beginning, right? The next phase is so critical. It's all about listening very, very carefully to those first customers and using their feedback to fuel your growth.
Here is another critical insight. Your customers will have a ton of ideas, but their actions speak so much louder than their words. Don't just listen to feature requests. You need to look at the data. What are your best customers actually doing inside your product? That's where the truth is.
And you've got to have a system for this. Make a point to talk to your best paying customers every single week. Group all their feedback into themes or buckets. Then focus your energy only on the improvements that are going to impact the most people and make your product more valuable. You have to avoid what's called featureitis. That's the disease of adding endless new features that nobody really uses.
So, how do you scale? Well, not with just standard marketing. A true growth hack is a clever, non-obvious way to get customers that your competition hasn't found yet. It's all about finding an unfair advantage. And here are 3 really powerful ones to get you started. First, partner with influencers who already have the trust of your target audience. Second, sponsor smaller, niche podcasts or YouTube channels. Or, my personal favorite, build an integration into a major platform like Shopify or Slack and get featured in their marketplace. It's huge. Let's be really clear about why this all matters right now. We are in a very specific, limited window of time. The tools are brand new, the market is wide open, and the opportunity to build something truly transformative and, yeah, create generational wealth is right here. But this window's not going to stay open forever. So here's the bottom line. The technology is finally ready, the playbook is crystal clear, and the opportunity is absolutely massive. You don't need to know how to code, and you don't need a bunch of cash to get started. The only question left is the one you have to answer for yourself. What painful problem will you solve?